What kind of organization is Multiply? Christian nonprofits are typically divided into two categories: implementers and accelerators. Implementers are the organizations that are directly involved in planting, revitalizing, and multiplying churches. Examples of these organizations are local churches and missionary groups. Accelerators, on the other hand, are organizations that are involved in resourcing church multiplication through prayer, training, tools, community development, research, finances, marketing, network, and all other kinds of means. Examples of these organizations include church planting networks, charitable foundations, and things like national alliances. Accelerators typically help implementers. In this framework, Multiply would best fit into the category of accelerator. Our mandate is to equip or to resource churches with the systems and training they need to become multipliers. We don't do any of the mission work ourselves per se. We help followers, leaders, and churches do mission work. While Multiply best fits into the category of accelerator, it should be noted that we see Multiply as a major evolution from what an accelerator or resource organization has been in the past. Accelerators typically only offer hands-off help. They do things like hold events, coach, train, or send money, but don't jump into the fray with the ministry they are helping. Multiply, on the other hand, goes a step further. We get deeply involved in three ways: family, capacity, and systems. We believe these three distinctives distinguish us from other resource organizations. The first distinctive is family. Multiply breaks from typical accelerators by partnering as a family. Churches inside a church planting networks or missionary groups typically have loose affiliations with one another. At Multiply, we insist on knowing and caring for one another in a familial way. If one of us suffers, we all suffer. If one of us succeeds, we all succeed. We are truly in this together. This is true of how our resource partners are treated as well. Anyone who donates to Multiply is part of the family and deserves the transparency, information, and care due to them. The second distinctive is capacity. Multiply's devotion to their local church partners is shown in its offering of capacity services. This offering makes Multiply a truly unique organization. As a ministry built by experienced missiologists and pastors, we understand the limitations of typical church leaders. For a church to become a multiplying entity, they must grow in capacity. Put simply, if church leaders are spending all of their time doing graphic design work, fighting legal battles, or working through bookkeeping frustrations, they will never find the time and space to multiply followers, leaders, and churches. To create this capacity, Multiply offers a suite of services to under-resourced churches so they can finally focus on the activities that God has called them to. The final distinctive is systems. Multiply is an organization that developed from the mission field. It was started by pastors and missiologists who could see how the world was changing and how local churches needed help to face those changes. By overcoming their own challenges and multiplying followers, leaders, and churches, these church leaders developed a system that could help others do the same. Because of this, Multiply has developed a hands-on approach that is unparalleled in the ministry world. Unlike many parachurch ministries that only provide training, coaching, or curriculum, Multiply supplies an entire system for multiplication. This includes an assessment process for each partner, action plans to be implemented, and the ensuing application and accountability for working the system. What kind of organization is Multiply not? Well, Multiply is not a denomination. We do not exercise authority over any church. Our role is simply to help and resource local churches. Multiply is also not a charitable foundation. Like any organization, Multiply uses funds to help accomplish its mission. Sometimes funds are even shared with member churches. However, raising and sharing funds is not Multiply's mandate. Any funds shared are only for family members and only to be used in the furthering of the Multiply mission and vision. Finally, Multiply is not a church. Multiply facilitates interactions between churches, but is not a church itself. All of the work that Multiply does is to assist local churches. We believe God has called us to be a unique organization for a unique time in church history, and we're excited about the way God has formed us as an organization.